You're listening to the Adcast, the podcast for marketers and advertisers, with your host, Eric Elliott.
So today I get to sit down and talk to Ms. Carrie McInnes from Western Carolina University. She's interviewing us about VIP marketing, craft creative, how we're so different, and most importantly, why people need an advertising agency. This is the Adcast. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Carrie McInnes Chisholm, and I am here with Eric Elliott, CIO of VIP Marketing and Advertisement, Chief
Inspiration Officer.
There you go.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you became, how you got into the marketing and advertisement industry?
I'd like to kind of preface that by kind of saying about not only are we VIP marketing, but we're also craft creative. We're two separate companies under one roof. We share the same roof, and we're just better together. You know, one company, VIP marketing, handles marketing strategy, execution. The other company, they're going to do the video production and all the elements that you're going to see and hear. But when we're blended together, we work well for clients. My background, actually, I'm an old food and bev guy. I started out in food and bev, and what that taught me was they taught me about people. How they could react. I mean, you could bring two different tables, the same type of plate, but they both react differently. But you learn people. And from there, I used to work for this company's corporate restaurant chain, and I opened 19 restaurants on the East Coast. So I would travel and just open these restaurants. And when I got out of restaurants, I went into radio sales, radio ad sales. So I worked for a local corporate radio station chain here in Charleston. And then I went on to sell broadcast television. And then one day I just got smart and said, you know what, I think it's time for us to do it on our own.
Right.
So that's kind of where it started. I mean, but the decision to do it was more for the client and the things to kind of be their advocate and also provide a good service. And that's one of the things that's important to us.
So like you stated, you're like two companies in one.
Yes.
And from my understanding, you're the only one in this area that has a production company with your advertisement or marketing and advertisement company. Is that true?
I mean that's a great point. I mean, like for instance, like I'll brag on them both, but then like let's just say Craft Creative, they are the only full-time production crew in Charleston. There's a lot of great freelancers, a lot of great people who do cinematography, videography, and all, but they are full-time, meaning like this is where they work. I mean, and they consistently focus on making projects better, coming up with ideal creative, and they have the wherewithal to be able to travel. They have the equipment that they need versus some companies that go rent things or some freelancers, maybe a little unstable. There's some great ones in this town, so I don't want to say they're not, but they are full-time, meaning that, you know, at any given notice that they can crank up their creative van and just go. You know, for us, I mean, I think we're fortunate with VIP to be able to work with such talented people. Every campaign that we do, we discuss it together. That's the benefit that we bring to the client. It makes it different for us because there are a lot of agencies where they may focus just on the marketing or the advertising end of things, and they don't have the components to do the creative piece. So sometimes they may hire a craft creative, and we're all right here.
Okay. Awesome. So as I was listening to your podcast, your new podcast, Adcast.
The Adcast.
For marketers and advertisers. And you mentioned that there's a difference between marketing and advertising, and most people don't know that. Can you explain that?
There is. I mean, if you're advertising, you are paying for someone to hear your message. If you're marketing, you're putting forth an effort for someone to know who you are and understand your brand, your concept, and your message.
Awesome.
There's a big difference, and I think a lot of times, you know, some agencies, they don't know the difference. Some clients don't know the difference. So for us, that's why we are VIP marketing and advertising, so because we'll do both.
So a lot of small businesses don't understand the importance of marketing. Can you expound on it a little bit as far as why is it important for the longevity of a business?
I think whenever you go in the business, you have to think like your business has a co-owner that you may never know about, and that is your consumer. right? The consumers are always the co-owner of whatever brand it is because they form their own opinion on whatever the brand may be. What a lot of advertisers, they think, or let's just say local advertisers, the minute some of them think like, okay, I'm gonna get my business license, I'm gonna get that location, I'm set, people are gonna walk in. They have the field of dreams mentality, if you build it, they'll come, but it doesn't work that way. So the importance of them really bringing folks like us in is this is what we focus on. They may know their business because there's some driving force that made them say, I want to be in the sandwich business or the furniture business or any kind of retail business. But for us, our business is being able to attract people to your business.
Thank you guys for listening. Now I'm going to take a small break and we'll be back in just a moment. So stay tuned for the Adcast.
Today's show is sponsored in part by VIP Marketing and Advertising. Ready to stand out in your marketplace? Visit veryimportantplacement.com.
You don't need a marketing agency. You do deserve very important placement. VIP Marketing and Advertising is a cutting-edge strategic digital, creative, media, and marketing partner that provides services for businesses of all sizes.
So why would a small business ultimately decide to go with a marketing professional such as yourself?
I think it's a benefit to them. It's a benefit because truthfully, they don't really understand it. You'd be amazed at how many business owners truthfully don't understand their business. They don't understand what KPIs are, what the true ROI of a marketing campaign is. When we work with them, we teach them that. And the reason why they should hire us is because we pay for ourselves. If advertising works, it's free. The truth of it is, if it works, it's free. And a lot of times they don't have the capabilities in-house to be able to do what we do, or the strategy, or the time to be able to focus on it continuously. I see a lot of local advertisers, what they do is they go after low-hanging fruit by hiring someone who's worked close in marketing and advertising to be their marketing directors. And there are some great ones, and there's some that are a little less experienced. And what we find is sometimes they lack the capabilities that we may have.
Okay, so what are some signs that, say a small business has been doing their own little marketing for a while, but what are some signs that they need to probably go and get a professional?
I think when they're spending money on advertising, they don't know what their return on their investment is, or before they advertise, they don't know exactly what success looks like. Those are things that we want to be able to teach them to kind of show them the value in what we do. The issue with a lot of local advertisers is when they hire based on price instead of hiring based on the value that you may bring to them. And there's a big difference between the two.
So with the talk of price, how much should a business typically look at with spending for their marketing efforts? Percentages.
Well, I mean, like the SBA would say between 1% to 3% of your gross sales. And some people, what you would find is they try and spend or invest on what they're comfortable in, but it's a matter of what you're expecting out of it. If I meet with a client and he says, well, I want to invest $1,000 a month in marketing and advertising, but he wants to get back $500,000, well, I would love those odds, but you just can't do that. So I think the most important thing for them is to have realistic expectations on whatever they want to get back in return.
So what are realistic expectations? What should a small business get out of using a marketing professional?
Out of using us, I mean, it's value. It's what we're going to bring to the table. A lot of them don't have a brand set up. They don't have a brand. They don't have an identity. They don't have authenticity when it comes to marketing into the marketplace. And so that's where we would come into it. And then there's another element where you would have like craft creative, where we would say, let's help with them with their identity and their message. So there's three things that I would tell every business owner that they need before they spend a single dollar on any marketing and advertising. You're going to have your budget, media, and message. You need to have a sufficient budget that's going to be realistic with your expectations to be able to bring in the results that you want and you need. Your media, you're going to have to choose the right media that's going to allow you enough frequency reach to be able to be out into the marketplace to target the right people. And your message, which is most important. You need water cooler talk type message, something that's going to be rememberable. And it's like you're battling for that position in your mind. It's like the old book from Jack Trout and Al Reese. It's like the positioning for your mind. There's a step ladder within all of us, and it's just you have to think, where does your business place on the ladder within the heads of your consumers?
So as you spoke about media, Is there, with technology, with social media, the internet, and that big boom, is there any particular media that stands out that's like surpassing television or radio or?
I think social and digital media, I'm really attracted to those. I really am. What I do know is that traditional media will not change television, but digital media will change television. Does it make sense?
No.
Okay, so let's just say television right now, the way it is right now, it cannot change the internet, but the internet will change the way you consume television. Gotcha. Take, for example, Netflix. I think we have to embrace the change that's happening with these mediums right now. I love digital and I love social because they're trackable, they're measurable. I'm a fan of whatever works. So all mediums are good, but if you can manage and measure what you're doing, I think that's even better. With social media, I like the fact that you are now your own publisher. You own your own newspaper.
Right.
I think with social media, those things have changed. They've changed the broadcast industry now to the point where I can get my news before the news can give me my news. You know what I mean? It's almost like now you go to, if you get something on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, then you would go to the news source to see if it's authentic.
Right. Right.
But like a lot of the news sources, they're worried about being first, or breaking news, or we're the first for this. People don't care about breaking news or who's first. They care about who's more accurate.
Right.
Because the average consumer is not sitting at home with 5 television stations and saying, okay, let's see who does this fire at 6 o'clock first. They're not doing that. They want to see who has the information right the way they want it.
Agreed. So what makes a successful marketing campaign in your opinion?
The people. 100%. The people. It is the people. It's not me. It's all of we. It's everyone in the building has something that they bring to the table. And I think, I say it all the time, without our team, I'm nothing at all. I think what's successful is the people that you hire. Not the person you hire, but the people that you hire, because they make the difference. You may have a campaign that one person may come up with. We may went around 5 or 6 ideas, but one person can kind of say, you know what, this would be great, and it turns out to be that blockbuster for a client. So I think it's the people. It's not one individual. I think if any media company or marketing agency says, well, it's because of Jim or because of this guy, then they're wrong. I remember years ago, Bilo used to have this campaign, our produce is better because of Walter. Well, Walter's not the only one who's watering the vegetables or the fruits. It's everyone who's on the inside. Everyone. Even from the person who cleans the building. Everyone's important. And you have to treat them that way and give them that respect. You take care of them, they'll take care of your clients, and that's it.
Right. Awesome, because I was speaking to Heather earlier, and she mentioned that you guys kind of work together and, bring your ideas together, and you're very innovative because you're in this one space, and when one person is working on one thing, they'll offer something, or somebody else can offer something else, as far as innovation, which are like, all right, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I would just tell anyone, if you're going to be innovative, using that word, you just stay away from the safe zone. I think the safe zone kind of puts you in the category of everyone else. It's when you stand out, is when someone says, I want that company.
Awesome,
I mean, if you see a pack of zebras, they all look the same. It's like it's an old movie with Ben Stiller and Chris Rock, the Madagascar, when he was hiding amongst all the zebras, but none of them could stand out.
Yeah.
You want to be the one that stands out in that crowd of zebras.
Gotcha. So how can you be reached for any additional questions, or if anyone is interested in your services?
I am the easiest person in the world to find. You can go to heyimeric.com to contact me, but I would love for them to reach out to VIP Marketing at veryimportantplacement.com or Craft Creative, at wecraftcreative.com.
And I will say that your website is very informative for marketers and advertisers. That's what drew me to want to interview you.
Awesome, thank you.
Also, I like your new podcast, the Adcast.
Go listen.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, special thanks to our team and also for the content. Thank you to them for the team, and also to our web developer, Ben.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. It's been fun.
You too.
All right, and that is the Adcast today. So I want to thank Ms. Carrie McInnes for coming in and interviewing us today from Western Carolina University. And also thank you guys for giving us your most valuable asset, your time. If you want, log on to veryimportantplacement.com and see what the VIP marketing crew is up to. And also log on to wecraftcreative.com to see what our wild production team is up to next. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But most importantly, we'd love an awesome review from you. And tell a friend this was the Adcast.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Craft Creative. Change your creative. Change your world with premium video production and graphic design. Get started by visiting wecraftcreative.com.
When all eyes are on you, make it count. From audio to video to graphic design and more, Craft Creative can do it all. We don't make commercials. We craft creative. See what we can do for you at wecraftcreative.com.
Copyright VIP Marketing and Advertising, produced by Craft Creative. For premium video production and graphic design, visit wecraftcreative.com.